everyone. Hi. I know it's late night stream. I couldn't sleep. I don't know why I couldn't sleep either. I don't feel good. I should be able to sleep. What the hell? Why is this not updating? Here we go. Shut up, Aaron. Shut up. Anyway, I saw Wolf's comment there before the stream started. Hi, Wolf. There you are. Looks like you might be the only one here right now. Why is it so blurry? What is up with my fucking internet tonight? I swear to God, I was recording something too. And it kept, I had to record it 3 times because the audio kept skipping. I probably could have recorded it in OBS, but I didn't pick up my room and I don't feel like it because I don't feel good. So I'm using the virtual background to hide that. I'm hiding my mess. I don't even care. Hey, Sally. Hi. So I thought just do a quick live stream and maybe go over just the recent shit that Katie's posting harassing this poor woman. But you notice I was thinking about something today. And this is kind of her pattern though, isn't it? So I'm thinking that something had to have happened with her and the Blanchards, or not the Blanchards, the Petries or whatever. Because she was getting in all sorts of close and tight with them. And then they were on Morbid's live stream. And then she's been long gone off of TikTok and obsessing about someone else. So it's almost like she's trying to make herself forget, maybe. I don't know. It's a theory. But she does, I mean, I'm guessing that she's really not all that upset that a murderer or whatever is on social media collecting money or shit like that for it, because she sure dumped that fucking fight and work or whatever very quickly. Down to, I don't know, a potentially bigger name in Hollywood, but she's not clout chasing or anything, guys. She's not doing this for the money or anything. I mean, God forbid, though, if she loses monetization over something, there will be hell to pay. There will be hell. It's true. Hey, little Red. Oh, my God, I haven't seen you in forever. Hi. I hope you are doing well. Good to see you. Anyways, let me go over here. Instagram. I don't even think that, from when I looked at it earlier, like before I went to work, but I wasn't at work for that long, really. They took pity on me because I didn't feel good, and really it was going to be a slow night. So they said I can go home. I was like, yay, thank you. Especially since I have to be there first thing in the morning to open. I swear my Instagram will load, I think. There we go. All right, so let's see what's going on over here. Oh, I didn't see this one yet. I don't think. Oh, shit. I'm going to have to read, aren't I? All right. My and stuff. Damn it. No. Alison Holker, which is, I dare you to write a book about him. Profits will be all mine. The truth comes out. The NDA not stop people from sharing a photo of Stephen in his casket. The NDA was to ensure that no one profited off Stephen but Alison. It's not at all uncommon for funerals and such in Hollywood, or in entertainment rather, to insist on NDAs at funerals and stuff, because they don't want someone leaving there and writing some bullshit report or revealing or exposing something or personal or whatever. Just, it's not a time for media. So yeah, they do that. It's not a bad thing. It's not unheard of. It's whatever. In order for Lady Alexa to see her son's body, Allison forced her to sign a NDA that prohibits her from profiting in any way related to Stephen Boss' life and death. Is this the same bitch who went on this months-long hate tirade spree, whatever, against Alicia Bias because she dared to agree upon a GoFundMe to help her go and visit her son? He lay in a bed dying. Remember how she called that mother a fraud? But here that's not the case. The mother, I don't know what she's saying about the mom. Either she's saying that the mom should be able to do this, or the mother would never dare, maybe even try to do this. One or the other, because she's obviously taking a side against Allison. So this is the same person, right? Weird how they both had to do with unaliving too, isn't it? Such different stances. Wow. Any money the family is paid would directly go into Allison's pocket. The only one allowed to profit, Allison Holger. The family doesn't even want to profit. There it is. When family friends told me about the introduction of the NDA, it had nothing to do with the funeral. One source stated her team wanted to control the narrative and stop anyone else from speaking up. I was told the NDA was proposed within days of his death, while the family looked for burial plots. Allison took business meetings. I'm going to guess that there were meetings already scheduled because she didn't, Allison then went to schedule business meetings or whatever, or went to have business. She went to business meetings. She took business meetings. Well, I mean, she might have been feeling the pressures of realizing she's now a single parent, for one. She was very, very likely just still kind of trying to come to terms with things and just went about life on autopilot. Like, who hasn't done that after the death of a loved one? Seriously. Or she could have been legally obligated. It could have been a breach of contract or some shit. I don't know what kind of meeting she took, but but Katie can't consider, shit like that because she has clue what it's like probably out in Hollywood or entertainment. So she doesn't even know to think of things like that. I didn't either until I looked shit up. Perhaps Katie should try looking shit up sometime. In her book, Allison flat out lies and says the NDA was only to stop people from posting photos or video from Stephen's funeral online. She claims she was protecting her kids. The truth does not match her claims. What is the truth? You got one person's word against another person's word. How do you fucking determine what to do this? Oh, that's right. You don't. It's whatever you want it to be. She's such a great journalist, fucking investigator or whatever. Shame on you for publishing flat-out fabrications, HarperCollins, and contributing to the pain and suffering of Stephen's family. Every entity profiting on behalf of Allison is profiting off blood money, in my opinion. This is greed over mental health advocacy. Listen here, no one has to advocate for mental health. They don't. None of us have to. Allison doesn't have to. Anyone with a platform does not have to advocate for something. It's their space. It's their creation. It's their business. They don't have to do good with it. They don't have to do what you deem to be good. They don't have to do what you think that they should do with it. No. So, yeah. Do you think his family even cared about money? No. She forced them to sign this in order to see his body. I thought it was to attend the funeral. She hired a defense attorney after he died and forced everyone to sign these. Wonder why people don't believe he died by unaliving. Cancel Allison Holger. Dude, no matter how many times you say it, you're not going to make it happen. Like, you might as well think the word cancel is fetch to you. I think most people now, when they hear Katie Joyce say someone needs to be canceled, they're going to go and love bomb that person. Just saying. My opinions, but I stand with the Boss family. Yeah. don't. Something tells me they don't stand with you. At least won't for long. Also, Chris Hilton is part of TMZ, so it's funny to see him side with Allison in the post this. Chris is funny like that. He plays both sides, but always will air out the dirty laundry. But he posts this because this is still reporting. It's still news whether it's true or not. My fucking mouse just died. Damn it. 1 second. And is this one right? Yeah. We're going to plug it in. Okay, that in there. All right. Okay, there we go. Now I have it back. Kind of. Oh, I don't care about that. Rez is not with TMZ. He's independent. Oh, that's new then because he was a part of them for a long time. No, he wasn't. LOL. Can't they claim they signed the NDA under duress? No, and this isn't a duressful situation. This is normal. This is, I don't know. I feel like it's to be expected or should have been. Not that she had anything to do. What does that even mean? You know, when she first posted about his death, I found it odd. She just stated he left it. Oh, I'm shattered, heartbroken. My world turned upside down. Not that she had anything to do with it. Just so off. Like why would you even throw that in there unless you're trying to put that idea into people's heads? Oh, here we go. See, Katie's setting the narrative now to blame Allison for her husband's death. To see, just like she did with Dre McRae. Just like she did with Dre McRae. So many similarities between these two, huh? It's crazy. Nuts. Anyway, intentional choice of words. She won't say he unalived himself because he probably didn't. She able to twist the truth because said he was done with her before he left the house. She will reap what she's sowing. She's anxious. I know there was this spelled right. Yeah, it was. Damn it, I thought it was spelled. No one should have to sign an NDA to attend their child's visitation and funeral. I wonder if Katie would have felt that way had the mother been Letitia Bias. Would Katie have insisted or supported the idea of insisting that Letitia Bias sign an NDA too? I bet Katie would. So I don't for one second buy this whole. How can you can't make a mother sign an NDA? No mother would try to profit off of their kid because Katie was singing a different tune about mothers not too long ago. Just saying. No one truly knows all the details. Are you kidding? Katie knows them all. Come on, Olivia Thompson. Don't gaslight her like that. This is so sad. An NDA to be able to say goodbye to your son, your child. An NDA to be able to say goodbye to your brother. It's not okay. Amazing how she just creates all of this fucking ire over nothing. Anyway, so this thing's only 5 hours long. Oldest, that can be a whole lot out there, I think. So what else? Oh, did Allison forget about Stephen's autopsy? So Allison Holker is claiming that Stephen Boss was a man with an addiction problem. She claimed that Stephen smoked Mary Jane all day, every day. and that he had vowed to quit. I'm sorry, I hear a problem, and weed is not what comes to my mind. I mean, I know it is addicting, and people every day become addicted to it and such, but I don't know. I keep being brought to that scene in my head from, I think the movie was How High, when Sad stood up and said, I suck dick for coke. Have you ever sucked dick for weed or some shit like that to the dude in NA? I don't know. I know it's not compassionate. I know it's not understanding or whatever, or including whatever, but I just cannot help but my mind go right back to that scene from that movie. And yeah, I don't know, maybe I'm a product of my time. Okay. She claims that Stevens went weird all day, every day, and that he vowed to quit. Additionally, she told People magazine that she discovered a shoebox filled with substances, and this scared her. However, an autopsy of Stephen Boss confirmed that he was clear of all drugs and alcohol at the time his life ended. A person that was a heavy user, Mary Jane, would have most certainly tested positive, but no, nothing clear, clean, sober. Even test for weed, though, in an autopsy? Because it's not going to be a contributing factor to a death. You know, like someone can die of alcohol poisoning. Someone can do too much amphetamines or whatever. Sure. Someone can overdose on heroin. But I'm pretty sure no one can overdose on weed. I'm pretty sure no one has. I mean, I don't know. I'd be surprised if they tested for it. Allison's new book plans to expose details of Stephen's secret from his private journals. People close to Stephen have expressed concerns that his journal could have exposed his true feelings for Allison. Then why the fuck would she want to put his journals out there? Oh my God. Did Allison find out about Stephen's unhappiness and anger with her through his journal entries? Perhaps, maybe. Will Allison be honest about the fact that they had been fighting in the days up to his death? Show me a husband and wife that isn't fighting the days leading up to someone's death. Seriously. Show me a husband and wife that didn't fight. Some people speculate that Allison may have been enraged to learn of Stephen's real feelings toward her. Is that what is driving her desire to destroy his legacy through a smear campaign? Sound down below. I have a question, though. What if everything Allison is saying about his journals is true? What if he was, in fact, addicted to marijuana? What if he was, in fact, abused as a child by a family? I think it's family members, what it's being alleged to, but whatever. Family member now. What if he was actually abused as a child? How is that destroying his legacy? How is that going to ruin his legacy? Like, what? People who've been abused have something to be ashamed about? Should they know better than to tell people to let it be known? And furthermore, drug addicts, should they never come clean or come out and ask for help? Should the public never learn of their addiction? Like, how is this destroying anything about this man? Seriously. It's fucking ridiculous. I mean, Katie, it's like she fucking hates the fact that it could get out that he was abused. Why? Was that going to make him appear differently to her in her eyes? She's going to think of him less than, or think less of him because he was addicted, because he might have been abused or whatever. And therefore she's concerned that the world too. I don't know. This is just not a good look. Oh, surprised Katie didn't type on that one. All right. I don't think that there's really many comments in here from her. I don't think. I think she's been saying enough in her posts. Is this one today too? Oh, it is. Remembering Stephen today for the joy and light he gave to the world. He changed the lives of so many people he never met. Apparently he had some kind of effect on your life too, because boy, you're talking about him. He's your fucking long lost lover or something. Like, this is ridiculous. Nuts. And I think there was, yeah, that's it. Okay. Oh, my stomach's growling. Sorry. Oh, I gotta stop streaming when I'm hungry. I'm always hungry though. So, all right. So I wanted to go over, play some. What am I doing? I'm gonna check chat too in just a second. Put that up. Oh. Hi, DC, member for 22 months, Lord 12, EKC. Hi, hi, good to see you. Oh, wow, some more people here. Hi, Mrs. H. Hey, Lulu B. How you doing? Oh, thank you. I get it. Yeah, it's like, I know. What's going on lately, Little Red? Oh, boy. How much time do you have? Talk time with Jay. Hi. Anna Hawk, hi. Can I to try and connect Twitch with 7M? She did it first. But then she abruptly shut that down and shut down anyone else who tried to make that connection. And this was before he had unalived himself, that she had gone through those stages. And then after he had unalived himself, she shoot it down anytime it got mentioned again. But then she saw a picture or whatever of Allison and at some Netflix premiere with Miranda, and then she lost her shit. And for a hot minute there, when she pretty much sat back and let people make that connection or conclusion, but then she eventually came in and shut it down again. So, and she's been, I have to say, because that I expected her to just suddenly flip the switch, on that regarding Allison as well. But so far she hasn't. So I don't know. Hi, Haiti Joy. Hi, Shannon. You're doing laundry. That's what I should have done. I did the litter boxes tonight, though. So there's that accomplishment. Yeah, Allison's trying to protect his legacy from vultures like her. Yeah. Yep, I believe that. Anyway, so I got thinking, like I was saying earlier, I was thinking about it today, and like this is kind of like Katie's pattern, I think. Like, I think something must have happened with her involvement with the Gypsy Blanchard or anti-Gypsy community there on TikTok, with the Petries and maybe even with content creators. I don't know, but something happened because she just suddenly and abruptly stopped going on TikTok, stopped talking to these people. Hell, even Faith seems to be like left out in the wind or something from her like abrupt exit or her Irish exit. Or I don't think she's Irish though, so of course she's not. So like I know that the Petries went on Sir Morbid's live stream and Katie didn't like that. But I think something more than that was blown up into something more, I think. Because if it was just that, that's not enough to run Katie off. Something else had to happen. I don't know. Maybe it was a cease and desist. Maybe she got served. Maybe she got served. I haven't even looked. Huh. I should probably look at that. I don't know. I'll look it up shortly. So I thought, why not go back and just listen to a little bit of like the last live stream there is on, or at least the last one I can find anyways, which is on Mama Girls. And I'm only going to play like the last 3 clips here. Because this one, the 4th clip has copyrighted music. And I think this one does too. We're going to start here.
Stop. Alexa, stop. You can't live stream music. You also are not supposed to live stream other people's live streams, so technically he could lose his channel for doing this. You're not supposed to.
He was live streaming on YouTube, her TikTok live. YouTube doesn't give a shit if you live stream another platform's content. They don't fucking care. And I'm not even sure that they care if you live streamed a live stream happening on YouTube. Maybe they would. I could see that maybe being a thing. They're not going to give a shit about TikTok. So when she says, he's not supposed to be doing that. He's not supposed to be doing that. Like, all right there, Narco Joy, we get it.
So like live stream live broadcasts of other people. So you're not supposed to do this on YouTube.
You're supposed to do this.
One of the videos are, so technically, just saying.
Yeah, he's changed his name 3 or 4 times. I think he's had 4 different personalities. He's actually getting paid probably using someone else's name. But don't tell him that, because he'll say that happened before the copyright apocalypse thing happened. Like, no, dude.
Who cares?
Yes, we lost Dinah. We're well aware. She dropped.
It's like she just wants to like scold that person. I have a great perception of the obvious. You know, we get it.
No, Amber, I know what I'm talking about, and I will tell you point blank, you're getting blocked.
You're getting blocked, Amber. Point blank.
My YouTube channel is my business. You cannot use other people's music.
Oh.
You can get copyright claims, meaning you won't get any monetization.
You can absolutely use copyrighted music, but she's right. You won't get monetization. You won't be able to collect any money off of your work there. Or however you use it. You can use like a few seconds of it or some shit, but that's about it. So yeah. So obviously if I'm going to say that if Morbid was live streaming her TikTok and she was playing music, then Morbid didn't give a shit if he got paid or not. So yeah.
And if your video gets claimed, you make $0.
Exactly what they were fighting with that conspiracy, because Gypsy did that to her. So it's a real thing.
You hate when But I will tell you one thing. I would never try to derail someone else's life, and I would not support a creator that claims to want the truth about a criminal case who likes to bully other creators, because I definitely don't bully them. I don't even watch his videos. I don't watch his live streams. I don't pay attention to them.
We only know what's going on over there because people from his stream come in and tell us to purposely cause problems so that way he has more content, because he can't make anything else.
And he's blocked from my TikTok, so he can't harass me. So he's like your ex-boyfriend.
I have to concur with you there, Little Red. Like, I can't do weed. I can't. Like, I don't like to smoke or anything, but I can't get about none of it. I can't stand the shit, first of all. And it takes a very little amount to get me all kinds of stupid and shit. And yeah, I felt like I felt like my heart was going to beat right out of my chest one time just for eating half of a cookie. So I feel your pain there. I do. Hi, Tex Mex Bax Thunderpipe. Hi, Dream Colored.
That won't take the hint that you dumped him.
Like literally go through any one of his things and it's all him just streaming other creators. It's never his own stuff.
So I guess they don't want people to talk about the fact that Gypsy asked her cousins
No, it wasn't.
Gypsy asked her cousins to lie for her and say that they were SA'd by their grandfather. So the reason you would want to shut this live down apparently is because you support Gypsy. Because that's how you're acting. Do you support Gypsy? Is that the truth? Because you're kind of acting like a fan. And if you cared about Dee Dee, wouldn't you want her family to have an opportunity to say the truth?
I mean, wouldn't you want them to have a platform? And because they didn't pick yours, you want to close down every platform that they're on? And that seems kind of anti, the thing. It's like helpful. Looks like you're against the cause, really. Looks like you're more worried about views and money than you are about the truth that you claim you care so much about.
I don't know why you're shocked that Becca is on board with this. Have you not watched her on his panel before?
She literally body shames. She thinks it's funny. She makes fun of people. She has no morals. It's sad.
I wouldn't, yeah, I don't.
Yeah, they don't do that. They never do.
I guarantee you, watch, they'll become pro Gypsy creators in like the next year.
And yeah, they're probably only going to do that just to be against you because it's all about you, Katie. It really is. I mean,
I've never watched him. I've never watched Becca. I've never watched none of them. I don't care to either.
Nick doesn't like them either. But there's like, why would she want her to, why would she want her cousins to lie if she's telling the truth?
Yeah, why would you need a lie to corroborate her own story? If it's the truth, it's the truth. Why would you need to lie?
Like everyone knows I don't like Brie, but I don't think it's appropriate to fat shame her. Like,
Body type ever, not once. I think, a matter of fact, you've stopped.
how the fuck is that not fat shaming though? How? Well, everyone knows I don't like Brie, but I'm not sitting around fat shaming her. You just did by stating how that's an option for you.
People in the chat from bringing it up.
Don't get credit for that.
Oh, look at puppy.
my Frida. It's my Frida.
I have a male multi-palm and a female palm, and their teeth are chattering. They're so scared of bad weather and fireworks. Literally chattering. Oh, that's not somebody requested. Probably hit by accident. Oh, Ethan. I watch Ethan.
Oh, there's
There's Fancy. Howdy. Okay,
Hello.
Hi, Fancy.
Hello, Fancy.
Hey.
And Fancy,
I have no idea what's going on. I just
I saw a video earlier today. I don't know who did it, so I can't really. Well, I mean, I'll try and find the clip in my history. There's a video accusing Fancy of possibly hitting her dog or some shit. I don't know. I mean, the whole thing was very strange, really, to watch. I mean, just how the dude came in there while she's streaming and just like yelling at her because he can't look to see if there's dog shit before he puts his foot somewhere. Well, I mean, granted, there should have been dog shit in the house. I get that. Yeah, okay. But I mean, still, I mean, if there's a big pile of dog shit and you don't see it, why aren't you seeing it? Unless it's inside of a shoe or something like that. Then maybe I can see that. But then I wonder what the fuck he did to piss the dog off. But I digress. Anyway, so yeah, he came in yelling at her, made a comment about how it's 2 o'clock, and she's like, no, 3 or some shit like that. And the lady or the person whose channel this broke it down into the section where it's alleged that this has happened. I gotta say, upon first hearing it, I'm like, this is a stretch. I mean, maybe it is, but it's a stretch. But then the way they stopped it and then they let it go again, and it sounds like if you were to do that, or if you've seen anyone else do it, if you grew up and your parents did that to the dog or something, just give it a whip and like, no, get out, it's exactly how that would sound. The rhythm, the tempo, whatever, it's exactly how it would sound. So I don't know. Fucking weird. I hope not. I hope they didn't hit their dog for shitting in the house. I mean, the thing probably would go out, I mean, there's been a couple of times here, just like I got wrapped up in streaming, and if my dog wasn't a huge pain in my ass, then she probably would have hit in the house. But you can only, tune out so much, really. So
popped back over to TikTok. I've been hanging with my husband, so I have no idea what we're talking about.
Right now, nothing. We'll play music.
Oh, it's because on a certain creator's live on YouTube, if you catch my drift, with a certain nurse, yeah, they had you and KJ up on their thing about something about addressing the psych nurse was addressing you and KJ. So then Katie put up your emails that you had shared on her thing to show what they were talking about, and we openly said, ask anybody in the chat, that we stood with you because clearly the truth speaks for itself. It's in black and white.
Right.
And then they was trying to say that we were saying something bad about you because they tried to get us shut down. And so that's why
Sorry,
I
hold on a second. What?
Muted herself.
Oh,
She got me to mute herself. I wonder if she's still talking.
Hmm.
Sorry, my daughter was hollering at me from the other room about possums, and I didn't know what the heck she was talking about. She really wanted to know. She's like, "Do they sell possums?" I'm like, I don't know.
No,
yeah, no, they
I
were
know you're
out.
talking about my deer, and I know you're not meaning it to anything with this. I just that was funny.
no pressure. But if you want to come up and join me while I play this, I mean, you are definitely well versed in this situation, well, way more than I am. So if you want to come up and and commentate with me, you're more than welcome to, Haiti. Here, I'm going to put the link in the chat. No pressure if you don't, if it's late. So if you're not up to it, I get it. Maybe some other time. I am kind of putting you on the spot here, but you are more than welcome to. So if I see you, I see you. Oh, where am I going? Okay.
She would like a possum. Okay, wonderful.
I'm running around in my yard right now.
Yeah, so they tried to say that. So then when that didn't work,
Yeah.
then they tried to say that we were talking bad about you. So I said I'll just invite Nancy over. So she said we're not.
I'm not going to play this game anymore with not. I put out something today. Becca's pissed about it. They're all pissed about it, and they can go soak their heads. I'm sorry. You tried to get every conversation I've ever had with Christy in my life for $200 freaking, and you wanted to go through them and then ask me questions. No, no, that has nothing to do with the vigil. Nothing. When I saw what she wrote back to me after what we talked about on the phone, the two did not coincide. So I had said, yeah, I'll help, and then I got that message. And I started thinking about it. And to me, I was like, I'm sorry. I have to know my worth here. This is my valuable. I'm valuable because of this. I have had personal conversations with the family for years, like no one else has. There's only a couple people that have that.
Oh wait, I don't have this set up. Okay, there we go. Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you now. Hi, how are you?
Okay, cool. Good, how are you?
Good, good. Well,
I
so
look at the chat, it's literally all me talking, so I might as well just be up here.
it's I'm grateful for it, really. So was it? I think it was you. I read say something about. Oh, yeah, it was you. If Fancy is still talking to her, she's crazy. Didn't they have a falling out though, or something? I remember.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
he was up
did
on a panel.
well, yeah, because KJ told her that she was not allowed to go on the panel when the Petries were on there anymore. I can't hear you.
Wait, she
you're
said that.
muted. Oh wait, now I can
She
hear
said
you.
that. She said that to who? Fancy?
Yeah, it's in text messages, and Katie accidentally showed the text messages.
I thought that she
accidentally.
said that. Oh shit! I thought she said that to the Petries or something.
No, it was a conversation with. Well, I guess it might have happened with the Petries, but who knows if that conversation actually happened? But it 100% happened with Fancy. She told Fancy the Petries don't want you up there, but there's no proof that the Petries said that, and it's KJ. So who knows if that's actually true? She's probably just trying to gatekeep them like she always does.
Mm-hmm. I remember back the whole Marvin thing. She was releasing audio, and she messaged Molly saying, the person who shared this with me, my source just wants people to get it from my channel. So
Yeah,
how about you just direct people over there?
Exactly, because Fancy was getting a little bit too close, and Katie can't handle that, so she had to come up with something.
But it's funny too, you say that, because in maybe it's the last clip or something of this series, of this stream, it's like they're going back and forth like almost in a pissing contest over who knows what, and then they get to nicknames, and it's like they're both racing off to list off the nicknames. Who knows who knows it better? Oh my god, it was so funny. Yeah,
I haven't seen this one yet, so I still have to watch this one. But Katie never even lets Fancy speak. She's always like, "Wait, I'm still talking." It's like, can you just let her speak? Can you let her say something?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go back to it. Okay.
About those, and only even less than a handful that will tell the truth about them. Katie being one of them that I've, Ryan being another, me. Like, there's not a whole lot of people that have spent time with Christy, and I don't even think KJ spent as much time lengthwise you did, but I don't think you were as close to Christy as I was. I don't know. I could be totally wrong. but it's just not, I'm sorry. And then to sit over there to try to do nothing but ruin her freaking, book signing, which is just ridiculous. Now you're going to have Dee Dee's new vigil on Gypsy's birthday. Why not Dee Dee's birthday? What is your problem? Can you not just honor this woman in for one damn day? And if another person brings up my stupid freaking Halloween costume, you know what? We were trying to have a beautiful night. We invited Gypsies and Dee Dee's because we knew people were going to be dressing in them. We thought we would make a good night of it. And I think that Dee Dee would have actually liked it. It's something she and her daughter did a lot of. So I don't think that that's disrespectful.
Wait, okay. So, from what I gathered there, it was a Halloween party or night or whatever, and she had people that around her, either virtual or realistically, who were dressed up as both the murderer and the victim. And she thought that it would be really sweet and that the victim would have really enjoyed it.
I never heard that, but that's crazy if that's true.
That is fucking crazy. Oh my God. How do you just totally misread that? Wow.
Yeah, and then and then I would understand why the Petries wouldn't want to work with her in that case.
Right? Oh my God.
Because I wasn't pretending it was a vigil when all I wanted to do was cause havoc. Does that make my point clear? I think it does.
Well, yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, not with you. I'm just saying in general. I think I'm pretty fucking aware of where I stand right now. I don't think it's appropriate that you're going to come in here and you're going to ask for all my shit. You've taken all my shit that I put out there for years and years and years because people kept saying I don't have it, and then turn around and smack me in the face and talk shit about me because what? Because I did not like how you handled the vigil. I have every right to say that.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I noticed in her earlier videos, she was sourcing things and saying a source said this, and I would listen to it. I'm like, that's something that Fancy reported. Oh,
Yep.
That's actually from Fancy's information.
Right. Well, I know who she says her source is, and I'm not going to burn them, but I don't believe it. I know who she says it is, and it's if that's her source, she's a great source. But
all right, so I know I'm maybe a minute or so past this, but a couple of minutes ago, she was talking about, I don't know who the creator was, but some creator reached out to her, was offering her money, I guess, for her communication.
And that's not how it happened at all. That's how Fancy's telling the story, but that's not how it happened. Like Becca did offer to pay her, but it wasn't like, I'll pay you if you do this for me. She was just like having a conversation, and she was just like, oh, like I'll throw you some money, like just like as like a favor, not like I'm paying you to do this type of thing. But Fancy misrepresented the whole thing.
I mean, even if she did offer money, I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, because she'd be potentially putting this stuff, together and putting it out on a channel where she would potentially make some money from it. So I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I don't really care. Yeah. So, but okay, so Fancy ended up telling her no because Fancy just at first it sounds like she said yes, but then she said no because she realized her worth or whatever. But then how come Fancy hasn't putting them out?
It's weird because Fancy is now sharing all this secret stuff with KJ of all people. It's like, what are you doing? You're sharing it with KJ for free, but you won't share it with Becca Scoops? Like, why?
Yeah.
Because KJ is the one who's going to turn around and stab you in the back with it, not Becca Scoops.
Yep. Katie's going to steal or take whatever it is you give her, and then she's going to run you around, make you fucking lose it all.
And Fancy also went to Becca. Becca didn't go to Fancy. Fancy went to Becca and was like, oh, can I help you with this and stuff? And that's when Becca was like, oh, sure, like I can give you some money. Like, as long as she went to her and was like, will you help me? I'll pay you. Like, it wasn't like that. Fancy went to Becca. So Fancy just completely told the story backwards.
But just like what you...
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Fancy at all, but she does lie. Like, she said that she was kidnapped when she went to her court case, and she was not kidnapped. She willingly got in the car with the woman because the woman was driving her there. How are you going to say you're kidnapped when you're willingly getting in the car with her? She took her to the court case, and then they got into a fight, so she said she was kidnapped.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
It's wild.
The video with the dog alone, it starts off with Fancy talking about how her husband or whatever died, but then the video in question is played and it was clearly dog shit. Why lie about that? I mean, I don't know. I guess I get why lie because dog shit sounds worse, but
yeah, I don't know why they didn't mute the mic. That's why I was like, why can we hear it? It reminded me of KJ not turning off her mic. It was like, just turn it off and that all could have been avoided.
Yeah.
But he's squandering it in the hands that he's in. All I can say.
Well, she acts like it's law enforcement.
Yeah, I know. Don't you? Doesn't that make sense?
It doesn't make sense actually at all.
Well, her husband's a retired homicide detective.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's supposedly her story, allegedly for entertainment and educational purposes only, right? But nobody's ever seen Becca, to my understanding. We don't know if she's a nurse, a psych nurse. The things that she said about the autism community, the other certain things that she said that have been completely inaccurate, like,
You know what I found out? Can I tell you something? And you might already know this, but I told Claudia, and she told that they said that the autopsy was sealed. It wasn't sealed.
It was for a while. It wasn't for family.
They've had it this whole time. Christy was never able to get it because she's not family.
See, I don't think that's true because we were told we could get it. I paid the $5. I think either I did or Tori did, and it never showed up according to her because I called before I paid that $25 to see if she could request it, and she could. Then when Nick's last appeal, I believe it was this year when they sealed it, when he was going before the last appeal before the Supreme Court, because they did not want the Supreme Court to be able to see all of that stuff not necessarily presented in his case that way, because the autopsy was not used in court, I believe.
Get it because she wasn't family. She's not next of kin. They didn't.
Okay. Well, I know what I got told, but I can believe that. So Claudia and them have had it for this whole time, though?
Wouldn't it have been released in court? And if it were,
You would think so, but I don't. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the prosecution for Nick didn't feel like they needed it because they already had so much evidence, and Gypsy didn't go to trial, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay.
Why wouldn't they put it out?
Because they don't. This is heartbreaking for them.
I get it. I mean, I do, but then
they don't. This isn't about they don't care what we out here say about how the death happened. That's traumatizing to them.
I get it. I totally get that.
Hold on. Let me finish.
And that's why I'm going to break down this book.
You hear Katie?
on,
She's
I'm
like, hold on, let me
I didn't
finish.
mute her. She muted herself. But she hasn't even read the autopsy herself because she's.
I want to slow this down a little bit. I'm having a hard time following it now.
Katie's totally trying to cut Fancy off. She's like, okay, hold on, let me finish. Like trying to not let Fancy talk as usual.
She spoke directly to the coroner.
Sorry. So I'm going to break this book down, and then I'm going to work on my books and my documentary series. And I don't intend to, I don't want to go through all of this anymore. I don't. I want to be done. I think once we're done with all of this, I think we'll have a good answer as to what exactly happened in the last 23 years. 33 now, right? So the first 23 leading up to this and the 10 after. I think with the people that we're working with, the people that are talking, we're all capable of putting this together at this point. And that's why they're really pissed off that we're all talking. They don't like that.
Okay, back to why they didn't put this out is they're not pussy. They don't want this. They don't want they don't want attention. They don't want to relive the trauma every single time.
I understand that.
And for them, why would they want to put that out? They know what happened. The coroner told her what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, the coroner told her she had an enlarged heart. Her health was really bad. But, they told her basically the head was almost off her body.
Yeah. Yes. And I think it's very symbolic. And I've done a whole piece about the fact that I think that that's Gypsy. And I believe that she has a personality disorder. And I think I know which one it is. And all because of reading that part of the book, that first 4 or 5 pages with the whole thing about the laryngoscopy that would have never happened the way she's describing it, nor was it happening at the time. I truly believe she has crafted an entire story around her lies, and she believes them. And bad.
What she's done, in my opinion, having talked to both sides,
Yeah.
is she's trying to get all of the attention off of her, which is motive
I know.
abuse.
Yeah.
I'm talking to the audience.
Yeah.
She's changing it to abuse so that the two families will fight and feel sorry for her. And the real motive is nothing to do with abuse.
Nope, none of it has anything to do with that. I know that for a fact. I know it. I have my theories, but I know that it had nothing to ever do with abuse. None of this ever did. They all know she wasn't abused. I think that they crafted a story from what Flasterstein said, and I think Christy knew that he said it. I think they all said they knew about the homozone disorder. None of this was about abuse. It was never about that, ever, ever, ever.
So
it's sad.
Not everyone knew about, but they knew some things, but they don't. I mean, the teachers didn't have access to medical records.
I know. I would like to give them to them, to be honest with you. I would like to do anything that they need help with.
How is it that she hasn't given the family anything she's found already? I mean, that seems like some shady shit right there. Especially since she's not doing anything with any of this information. She's not putting together any kind of documentary or whatever that she planned on. I mean, it's just crazy. Man, I would want to beat someone's ass if they had that kind of information in my family. They didn't tell me or offer it to me or some shit. That's fucked up.
Because I truly believe that they have been villainized. Their whole family has been villainized, and Gypsy has villainized their sister for
You know that
nothing more than the sport of it, to be honest with you.
fight with her cousins because she asked her sons to lie for her and say that Todd or
You
them.
know, I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that now too. Yeah. However, I've also talked to Titania, and I do not believe for a hot second at all that Titania forged any type of medical records. Not a one.
Titania didn't write a letter for the family either to the parole board. I don't know if
The parole board, she did not write it to the parole board.
Katie,
That's
Katie,
not where she wrote it.
Katie.
What?
Morbid's in your account right now under a different name.
I don't care.
They're-
Oh my god, I'm so sick of like
Well,
stop it. Like let's just
Tattletale.
ignore it.
Yeah, just ignore it. Oh, somebody asked what was the personality disorder that I think it is. Well, look, cluster Bs all kind of have a crossover. So she could have a couple of them together, and they are generally comorbid of each other, especially when you put into existence and a predisposition for having them based on this chromosome disorder. But the one that I think she fits to a T, and if you could read my article on it, I think you guys would be pretty impressed. I did a lot of work in the medical journals and stuff looking this up. I believe that, in my opinion, in entertainment and educational purposes only, I think she could possibly have HPD, which is histrionic personality disorder. And if you read the 5 traits of histrionic personality disorder, it checks every one. And then I went further than that, and I looked into how does the chromosome that she's got the deletion on, because you guys talked about the PKR. Once I found out what that was, I then researched what does those exact.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I think that there's definitely something wrong or going on with Gypsy or whatever for her to come to the conclusion that she must unalive her mother. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's any disputing that. And it may very well be that Fancy's not wrong about this, but what the fuck does Fancy know? Like,
Exactly.
I don't know. I
She's
wouldn't.
acting like Katie Joy, like acting like she's a doctor, like she could diagnose people. Like, like neither of them are qualified to do that.
Right. Yeah. I did a lot of research in the medical journals and shit. Like, so you read a few things. Like, good for you.
Right?
You know,
like
like,
on Google too. Like, like doesn't mean anything.
it's crazy. Oh my God. Like, you know.
I know it is.
Like
I was
genes
talking
do, and what
before
do they
my mic
control in your
was dead, I
body?
didn't realize.
And
What's that?
I said I was talking before my mic was dead and I didn't realize. So I had to
Oh,
switch mic.
oh, okay. All right.
it's very, very detailed and interesting. Very. Because I don't think she's okay, period. Really, at all.
I mean, her pathological line, which is better explained with sociopathy.
Well, yeah, it's part of the sociopathic.
They're different. Okay, so
Well, sociopath, yeah, right. But I still think cluster B is part of that. I'm not part of it, but it's part of what it causes.
they often will have multi-diagnoses in the same. So people
Right, that's what I was trying to say, comorbidity. But I believe that there is other, there's things that line this up in a much more concise way. Like I said, it's a very long blog post, but it's the beginning of what our book is going to open with, because this I talked about the symbolism of the neck and how.
All right. So this is what blows my mind. So I heard the stream where Fanny was on Sir Morbid's channel, and Katie came up, or Katie was on, and like the two of them kind of went at her a minute. Katie dropped off. Like, I remember hearing Fancy like scolding Katie, like just really putting her in her place and just talking her down to a bloody stump, just about. I can't believe that this is the same chick.
It's honestly crazy. Their relationship went from like fake friends to instant enemies, where Katie was like putting out her mug shots and stuff, and like and they didn't talk for years, then they were suddenly friends again, and they hated each other again, and now they're besties again. It's just I can't follow it. And do you know what night this was from, or no?
Oh, this is a little while ago.
I wonder if this was before. I wonder if this is before the text message of Katie telling her you're not allowed to come on the panel with the Petries, or after. That's what I'm wondering. Because if it's after, I can't picture Fancy talking to her again. Because Fancy was upset in those messages.
Right. Yeah. I remember seeing Fancy in the chat. I think it might have been that panel or right around then. And yeah, they weren't getting along, obviously. But yeah, this was, I think, before that.
Okay.
I'll be able to pull up the exact date in a moment. I don't know how to get to.
No, it's fine. You don't have to pull up the exact date, but that makes way more sense.
See, copy. Oh, yeah, it's just gonna share post via. Okay. I'll be able to open them.
How she talks about it. And
Sorry.
It's a,
No. I ended up finding it. Okay.
I know you did. Christy and Vicky told me you did. And then she like was like, well, I just did that because I wanted him to get me on adultery.
Oh, yeah, right.
I said, so you had Ken come up so you could commit adultery so you could get out of your divorce earlier. So you're using Ken. No. That's not what I mean. I'm like, well, that's what it sounds like when you say it like that, Gypsy.
Uh-huh.
And so you're doing that to hurt him? I said, that's cruel.
how much you want to bet she did not
But let's
actually
just say,
any of
okay,
this to
if
her?
she would have got adultery,
Sorry, 1 second. My
she would have lost a
it's freezing
shitload of shit.
for a second. Okay, I'm sorry. What was it?
I said, how much you want to bet that she didn't actually say any of that to her, like Katie to Gypsy?
Oh, yeah.
Like she's like making herself sound like a hero, like, oh, Gypsy, you're being cruel. She definitely didn't say that to her.
Exactly. Yeah. And even if she had said it found the wherewithal to speak up, it didn't come out anything like that.
It
Exactly.
didn't come out like that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, one of the biggest avoiders of confrontation. Sure, just spoke right up like that to some chick she doesn't know who underlined her mother. Come on.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, wait, why did this go all the way back there? Wait, did this go to the next one?
You know, she's lucky she got one.
I don't know if it went to the next one or the previous one, so we're just gonna go here. Okay. I don't know what's up with my internet. Right, so
Because people were jumping to conclusion without.
Katie's gonna talk
It's
about
coming.
people jumping to conclusions when she was like
Facts,
manipulated,
and they
as
were
she says, for
doing
5
these,
years.
like MJ Pack
Yep. Mm-hmm.
doing the whole thought catalog off hearsay. People jumping to conclusions and diagnosing Dee Dee, which she never got diagnosed with.
right. I told you that. That's why I got so upset with you that day where you're like, well, she was in a mental institution. I'm like, no, Katie, she was not. She was not. I have talked to several people. I have asked several people. No,
In a second, you're gonna get so mad. Like, whatever. We're not talking about that now.
Katie has also accused Dee Dee of having Munchausen by proxy. So what is she even saying? Like other people are saying that you said that too.
Exactly.
no, babe, she's not. She was not. Unless they're now telling a different story. But I mean, I've talked to Suze, I talked to Ty, I talked to other members of the family, I talked to Bobby. Like nobody ever mentioned her being in a freaking insane asylum, and I just didn't want her to be put one more label on her that wasn't confirmed. That was my
That
whole
has
thing.
nothing to do with what we're talking about right now. Like,
No, but I'm talking about it in that sense of the fact of like Dee Dee's never been diagnosed with anything that we know of, except for her stating that she was diagnosed with bipolar. The labels and the things that they keep putting on this woman post-death is inappropriate, and it's unethical, and it's not okay. And that's the problem, is they don't care what more thing they'll say, as long as they get to stick it to whatever content creator they don't like today, whoever's doing it. You know, it's crap. These family needs to be able to talk.
So this was uploaded to Llama Girl's Twitter on January 6th, but
It was
when
probably the day
she,
before that.
yeah, she's describing it as last night, so I'm gonna guess January 5th.
Yeah, because she usually uploads it the next day.
Yeah.
well,
Right,
really
yeah,
what
I
the
don't
family
remember
wants is Gypsy to stop because they're done.
What's that?
what happened.
They're sick of reliving their trauma.
Have they been able to figure out a way to sue her for that so they
They're
can
not
stop
making
her
any
from
comments.
profiting?
They're not making any comments about any of that publicly.
I get it. I understand that. I'm just telling them.
Yeah, too. Like, I mean, like I said, I can't believe this is the same chick because she is just like the most obedient, subservient other half of this duo suddenly. When I heard her, I
know.
listened to her.
And
Yeah,
it's so not her personality to just like, bow down, so it's so
right,
weird. Why?
right.
It's just bizarre.
And that part right there too, she's, are they thinking about suing her or something like that? And Katie's like, well, they're not making any comments about that publicly. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Like, what do you mean? Does
it's
that
just
mean you
like,
know
okay,
something? Like,
okay.
yeah,
It's crazy. I don't know.
yeah, it is.
There are ways, and I do have
Like
a lawyer
they're
there that would
like,
help
I'll just
that.
say this, Fancy. They know, they're well aware of what their rights are, but they're
Okay.
not commenting on anything.
I don't know. I'm
The
just
last
letting
thing
them
you're gonna
know.
do, no, hold on. The last thing they're gonna do is tell Gypsy what they're gonna do.
Right. No, for sure. But if you want help, there's people down there that I know that would take your case, I think, for that. So just so you guys know, there is a very good lawyer down there. It's who I stayed with when I came. He was going to take the case for Christy in the beginning against the doctors. And then once he saw everything, he wouldn't do it, but Christy would never call him back. So if there is somebody that I can help here, I'm offering, he'll give you a good rate.
All
He's a
they
good
want,
lawyer.
like all they
Yeah.
want is like,
Right.
She explained how they edited Claude's comments about
Yeah.
what they said, how they asked leading questions. Like,
How did they do that? I mean, I saw it, but I want to know what she thinks happened or what they
well,
say.
I don't know. She didn't, I mean, I'm not gonna share everything.
Okay, I don't know what you've shared, baby. I haven't been tuning in every night.
I'm just
So
saying, like,
yeah.
Claude's also like 86 and losing his memory.
So
So
sad.
it's like so exploitative to put them
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
She sat with him yesterday and he kept calling Gypsy Dee.
Yeah. Wow.
And they're putting him on a camera and asking him questions.
Right.
It's
Right.
exploitative.
It's the same thing Aaron Carr did to them. I was disgusted by what Aaron Carr did. I'm disgusted by what Melissa Moore did. You know, I met Claude. I met Laura. I talked to them for a long time. I even have a clamshell from freaking Claude.
There's not a single person in that family that has ever made that claim against him. And when Gypsy
No.
met with them this spring, she wanted them to say he abused them, and they wouldn't. And then they basically told her to fuck off. And then
Wow.
the family met for the holidays, and they're done with her. She's dead to them.
That amazes me. That amazes me. Now she's dead to them. The unaliving of their loved one, her mother, there wasn't, a step too far.
I know,
Wow.
really. I know the
Yeah,
priorities
that
and
was
the
a
things
step
they
too
said
far.
is mind blowing sometimes. It's like, do you hear
Yeah.
yourself? Like, come on.
It's crazy,
It really is, though.
They need to do,
right?
somebody suggested on my page the other day was for like Dee Dee's birthday or whatever, they could organize like a balloon release or
They
something.
can't do those anymore in Louisiana.
Oh, they can't do those anymore. Well, they could still have a vigil for her.
They're
her.
talking about that, but if they do that, it's not going to be for content creators. It's going to
No.
be for the family.
That's it.
And there's
That's
already
it.
people in the family working on that.
That's fantastic. I'm so glad. That's fantastic. If that's all true, I'm really excited.
Do you know what she meant by you can't do that anymore?
She said something about not having the balloons or something. Like, that's what I heard.
Oh,
But
okay.
I don't know
Oh, so like,
why. That sounds weird, but
well, I know that like there's been over the years or whatever, like people have done like these memorial things and they release like a ton of balloons up in the air, and it does. I guess it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they meant. That would make sense.
Yeah. They might. Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
For them.
Nellie's already on it.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing, I hope this family gets the peace they deserve in some way. They need to stop having to relive this too. It's hard, it's a fine line we walk reporting on a case because of this, but I feel that reporting on the case itself is the important part of this, to find the real answers to this, that everyone will stop and she'll have nothing left to lie about. You know what I mean?
I mean, and I honestly don't think that they even think they'll ever get the truth. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
they don't, and I don't know that they need to know everything.
No.
I think they just want it to stop. They are being traumatized by her still. They've done nothing but be supportive of her.
Right.
And then Claudia went to visit her in prison, supported her all the way out. Like,
Oh my God.
and this is how she's being treated.
Right. Right. And meanwhile, you've brutalized their sister, like over nothing. You could have just left. You could have just ran away and did whatever you wanted to do with your life.
And they're still just trying to untangle all the lies. Like, she's like, well, they took out all her salivary glands. I'm like, no, she has one removed and she doesn't have dry mouth, and
Right. No.
Orajel wouldn't have caused that problem.
Nope. She still has excessive saliva when you look at her when she's talking, and that's why she licks her lips so much, because they get so wet. Not because they're dry. You have to look at them before she licks them. They're extremely moist.
Yeah.
So no, she still struggles with hypersalivation.
And they were
Does she have
confused
a high
about the
count?
I don't know. Hearing Fancy and Katie talk about someone's lips and it's the
Yeah.
gross.
They're right though. Gypsy definitely does that, but it is weird to hear them talk about it.
Yeah.
Me too. They were confused because when she stayed with and Mama too, that's Laura.
Yeah.
Gypsy would eat for them, but I said, but she can eat, she just can't eat enough.
Right.
She had no idea that Gypsy was 36 pounds when she got it. Like Dee Dee really like kept them out of. They weren't.
There was a lot of problems once Laura May came along.
Not
There was
for most of
a
the
lot.
family. It was.
No,
It was for Dee Dee.
Yes, for Dee Dee. Dee Dee was brokenhearted by Laura May, and then I think she found out at the same time probably that that's not her dad. And I
She
think
never found that out.
oh, she didn't.
Mm-mm.
Okay, because we were talking the other night and we weren't sure.
And they've never confirmed it either.
They
Claudia
didn't
said,
confirm it either. I thought the other night they did, but okay.
no. There's no
Alright.
paternity either for Bobby,
Okay. Well,
Like,
Bobby, I believe, but I don't know about Dee Dee. You know.
but they've never done DNA on, so they don't know. Like it's just like they think that, but
I see.
it doesn't matter because Claude still claims Dee Dee.
Right. Exactly. He raised her just like Jill's husband raised Nicolette.
Yep.
That's her dad. Rod has
Yep.
nothing to do with her.
And Claudia said that like what is really frustrating for the family is that like they all love Gypsy so much, and they all helped with Dee Dee until Dee Dee basically ran off in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So she said that that part in the book where she said that Pookie kicked them out,
Yeah.
that never happened.
Oh, wait a minute. I thought Dinah confirmed the other night that it did.
Not the way that it was described.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
And she didn't get kicked out that way at all. It was she was going to get confronted about.
So, okay, so did she not get kicked out or just, no, she didn't get kicked out that way?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know the actual story, but they make it sound two different ways, so I'm not sure what is the way that
Yeah.
actually happened. Because I heard in
So
her
Gypsy
book,
told
she
them that
says
her mom was giving.
in her book she says that that the uncle or whatever came and their stuff was outside and that was it. They were homeless. That's not the story that they're telling now. So who knows? I don't know.
Right.
Round up to Laura.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Gypsy came up with that story.
That's what I thought.
So you
Told
can't
you.
trust her.
I told you psychosis starts for this kind of stuff around 7 to 8 years old, and I always wondered where the stories came from. And just like Allie was telling us the other day, just the wildest, craziest freaking
And
stories.
so they were going to confront her, and so they fled in the middle of the night.
Because Dee Dee was protecting Gypsy once again.
So, but then with the Claude Jr. stuff, he bought the house. He didn't inherit it. She said he inherited it in the book that he never threw their stuff out on the lawn. That never happened. The stuff wasn't on the front lawn. It wasn't on the porch. She wasn't kicked out because Dee Dee wasn't putting her in school. It had nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with that.
No, it was because Dee Dee stole his identity and opened up credit cards in her name.
In her dad's name?
No, in his name, Claude Jr.'s name.
Claude Jr.'s name? Because I heard it was the father.
It was both. She
Okay.
stole Claude Sr.'s credit card, she stole
Claude Jr.'s credit card.
No, she stole Claude Sr.'s checkbook,
Okay. And Claude Jr.'s credit card?
and she stole Claude Jr.'s identity and went to Disney World.
Oh my Lord. I wonder though, because but Emma did the same.
Okay, so Dee stole identities and credit cards and went and lavished things or whatever. So, I mean, why does Katie fight against so much that Dee Dee was the main person behind the scams? And I mean, she was clearly doing that like before Gypsy had even come around. And even if Gypsy had learned to do it herself, then she learned to do it by her mother. I mean,
everyone says that. Everyone says that like Dee Dee didn't abuse Gypsy, but no one denies the fact that her mom was a scammer. Like everyone says that, and she taught Gypsy to scam too. So I don't know why Katie's saying something else, because she's the only one with that opinion, because no one else says that. It's also really weird that Fancy is acting surprised hearing this story. Like, how would you, of all people, not know this story already? Like, I know the story. I've heard it 1,000 times. Like,
that's what I wondered too. Yeah, like
she should know.
Yeah, in the last video, because like I remember listening to that and thinking, wait a minute, when we came to her originally, like years ago, for more information to learn more about this, and she had all the answers, and now
she's the one that knew everything. Yeah, that's why it's so weird.
Yeah.
Same thing to Claude's parents. She stole a bunch of money from Claude's parents.
Well, we're not
Before they got
talking
married.
about Emma.
No,
Like,
I'm just saying. I'm saying this is.
they don't really. The family doesn't want people drawing comparisons to Emma because it's like Emma was nothing like Dee Dee.
No, I agree with that. I say that.
But let's not bring up Emma. Like, they want her to rest in peace.
And I can understand that. And I think that her daughter's name should be cleared for any of that. Absolutely. I can respect that completely.
What the fuck?
I know.
Isn't-
It wasn't
seriously.
Sandy.
Oh my god! Like, how the hell did this? How did that happen?
I'm really disappointed in Fancy. I thought she had more oomph to her. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I know, and I hear people say all the time, like, oh, well, Katie must have like gotten information on someone, and and she's using it against them, and I always think, oh, that's some bullshit. That's what a conspiracy, yada yada. But then hearing this, like, I think Katie might have gotten some bullshit on Fancy and is using it against her.
What else could she have gotten? She already put out her mug shots and all her like criminal records.
Yeah.
So what else could there be? You know?
I don't know. It's just so crazy. It's so bizarre to hear. Just I
But
mean, like,
yeah,
because
if KJ's gonna find if someone's gonna find something, it's gonna be KJ. So who knows?
yeah, true, huh?
It'd be like financial information or something. So who knows?
Yeah, or maybe financial incentive, even. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who's Sandy? Yeah, it was Pookie.
Emma is Dee Dee's mother, guys. That's all I'm going to say after this.
Oh,
But Claude Jr. never pressed charges against her.
No, I knew that.
But the family is just like, Claudia just doesn't, she's really upset about like the way that Gypsy is dragging her mom into it. Because the way that they describe her in the book is not how it was
Right.
at all.
Well, her name is not even Momsy Emma. That's not what she calls her.
That's what she did call her. That's what Claudia said.
Really? Because
Called her Momsy.
when she was there, she called her Mama or whatever the heck they call her. When she walked up to the grave.
Gypsy calls her Momsy. But
Well, that's not what she called her.
yes, she did to her face. That's what Claudia said she called her.
No, you're not hearing what I'm saying. I said when she walked up to the gravesite, she did not say Momsy. She said Mama or whatever.
I know, and according to Claudia, Gypsy was the only one that called her Momsy.
Okay, that's what I was trying to find out.
And everyone else called her Mama.
Mama, yeah, Mama, or however they say it. I don't try to be rude.
man, they really do have like a whole separate language system down there, don't they?
I know, yeah. They call like the aunt is called a nanny. Like, how confusing is that?
Yeah.
Like, when I heard Mia saying, "I'm your nanny," I was like, "What? Like, what's going on?"
Mama. And
Mama.
they call Claude Senior Pa.
Pa, yeah.
Or Papa Honey. And they call her Mama Honey.
Oh, so that is something they do?
Yeah.
So the honey and the baby is not exclusive to just Dee Dee and Gypsy in a weird way. It's
they call Claude Senior Papa Honey.
Papa Honey.
And then they called Emma Mama Honey.
Oh, interesting.
And then all of them have names.
No, I know the nicknames because when Claudia drew, I think it was Claudia that drew it. I don't
In Gypsy's book, she says that she called her grandpa Daddy Claude, so not Papa Claude. So I don't know what KJ is talking about. She said that she called him Daddy Claude, yeah, which is weird too. But yeah,
I agree. That is very weird.
Claudia drew me the stick figures of all of them. She put all of their nicknames on there. There's
Dorla's
Pookie, Yogi, and
Dorla's Dodo. Dee Dee's
Dodo.
Dee Dee.
Yeah.
Because she's Claudine. Dorla's Dodo. Claudia's Noonie.
Yep.
Evans is Yogi.
Yogi. And then there's
And
Pookie.
Claude Senior is Pookie.
Yep.
And then I can't remember what Tate says. It's something that means like curious.
I don't remember, but I'll find the
Sneaky
picture.
scoundrel, I think it was. Like,
It was what? What do you think it was?
no, it was something that meant like sneaky scoundrel or something like that.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I remember, but I have the.
I have it in. She told me them all today, but
Yeah.
So they don't call each other by any of their real names.
No, none of them do.
And she said Gypsy never called Claude Daddy Claude, ever. And she never called Dee Dee Mama.
Mhm.
What the hell did she call her?
Yeah,
What did she call her mother then?
her honey.
Okay.
Weird, right? Yeah, I don't know. That's what she said in the book. She called her honey. which
Hmm.
is weird because she also called Nick honey. So I was like, that's weird.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought they just described how like everyone's something honey, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think so, but
She's trying to like incorporate their culture into her life that she didn't do herself.
I know. I've said this a million times about her stories. The reason why her stories don't make sense is there's one of two reasons generally. One, she's either weaving two different stories that happen at two different times with different characters into one so that it never makes sense because it doesn't line up with one person because it didn't happen at the same time, nor is it the same person. Like she does that with her guys a lot. But then the other reason why is because she didn't experience these things that she is alleging happened at all. She's stolen stories from everybody in the world, including Disney themselves. And that's the way, that's why they don't make sense because she doesn't have the emotions or the feelings or the knowledge of what would have happened. All she can go by is what someone's told her.
How is Katie just gonna sit there and let Fancy talk about her like that?
I don't know. I'm
It's
surprised she's
crazy.
letting her talk at all.
So when she writes it and tries to spit her own spin on it, it doesn't make any sense. You're like, that's completely fabricated.
Well, according to Zora, Amelia Bird said that Gypsy had never talked about her grandfather abusing her until Amelia Bird confided in Gypsy, and then suddenly Claude had started abusing her.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
So she stole stories from other prisoners too.
Yeah. Oh, I knew that. Yep. Zora said that. Yeah.
So Tate. So okay, Claude Tate's son is T Tate, and the T means it's for junior. So because he's a junior, and Rod is T Rod because Rod.
T-Rod.
T-Rod.
Right. T-Rod. Yeah. Yeah.
And Claudia's told me today that Woo Woo Bestie not living on the same city doesn't matter, and they're barking up the wrong tree. That's what she said about Woo Woo Bestie.
Wow.
Fighting with her about something that's irrelevant and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I get it. I get that. So I just got sent this. Oh wow, this has been wow, this is old. Bobby Petrie groupies laughs out loud group. Wow, this is from
This part too, like Fancy, it reveals how she was just sent something that's like from the olden days from some Facebook group or whatever, and the both of them are just like almost like picking at each other, like, oh yeah, I have that, I know that, I remember that, I was there for that.
It's so ridiculous. Like, who cares? Okay, we both
Right?
had it great. Now talk about it and like discuss it. Like, doesn't matter who had it first.
way back when.
Right?
It was my friend first.
This is where Christy's talking about going off on her friend Dixie Stovall.
Oh yeah,
aka Pipey.
Yeah,
I've seen it way before, but I hadn't
I'm
seen
in the
it in a
group
long
that it
time.
happened in.
Yeah, right. Back when it happened, but I'm saying I haven't seen it in a long time. And then somebody just sent it to me, and I'm like, oh, I've been looking for this.
And
So-
talking about how the Blanchards say you're not from the Bayou, and Claudia's saying it doesn't matter if she's not from Cutoff or Golden Meadow, the Bayou is in a big place.
Right. It's not.
And she
It's
said,
not.
and she said it doesn't matter because the Bayou talks.
Yeah.
But they weren't. God, Gypsy's so evil.
I get that. I agree with that in many ways. But looking at this personality disorder and stuff and thinking about these types of disorders,
Yeah.
I don't know how much we can put on a mental disorder versus a truly evil person. I think it has to be nurture and nature at this point that we're really looking at. It's
Well, I'm
not
not
one or
trying to.
the other.
I'm frankly not trying to diagnose Gypsy with shit. Like,
I understand. I'm simply saying you have to take into accountability.
But Joy's been every chance she gets calling her a narcissist.
Yeah, that's what she does to literally everyone. She diagnoses everyone. So I don't know why she's saying that.
Right? That's crazy.
Yeah. It's so funny because most of the time, like,
That she
it
can
sounds
have
like
mental
she's
health
talking about
problems. Just
herself.
Yeah.
I said most of the time it sounds like she's talking about herself, so it's really funny, like
Yeah.
listening to her diagnose other people.
Yeah, I mean, when she sits there and just explains it and everything, how what a narcissist does, or what someone with this
know, it's like,
affliction does.
do you not like connect that to yourself at all? Like nothing, like
I
there's
know.
nothing going on there, like you don't see anything. Like it's crazy.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's like you should know that there's a reason why you're able to spot shit like that so easily.
Yeah. Yeah. Like nothing sounds familiar. Like, come on.
specifically because of the chromosome disorder. It does play a part into it if in her psyche, if this is what really caused her to convince herself that she wasn't sick. And that's why she did this. I mean, that plays a lot into it. It's very much part of motive, you know? So. Oh, here's one from Tracy Johnson Bean back in the day. Oh my God, these are coming from Belinda Belly's group. Wow.
I'm in that group.
Are you
I'm
still
in
in
that
there?
group.
Mhm.
I'm in that group.
I thought it got closed a long time ago, but maybe
Nope, it's still open.
I think I got threw out because they hated me for taking up for Christy. But then I have 3 friends that's where I met them in there, and they came to my defense about it. So I don't know. Maybe I thought it was gone, but I might just message Belinda.
A
and
lot
see if
are
it's
liars
open.
and a lot have anger issues. But after talking to Claudia, some of the stuff that Gypsy does and her behavior that's just like makes you scratch your head, Dee Dee did too.
Which would make sense with with one of the cluster Bs because they can be generational. So I think
Can we just talk
some of it-
about it? Can we just talk about it without diagnosing it? Like I just don't.
I'm
wanna-
not diagnosing it. I'm saying with cluster B type of personality disorders, it can absolutely play a part in that. I'm sorry. I'm not saying she has one specifically. I do believe she has one, but I'm not saying which one. I have one that I believe is truthful. But that's my expertise, Katie. I'm going to school for this. I'm not just
Oh
pulling
my
this out of my ass. I researched
I'm
it.
not saying you're not. I don't want to diagnose her. I just want to talk about this without talking about like that. Like I don't know.
Wait, did Fancy go to school for that? Like, does she have
I
a
had
degree
no idea.
in
I always thought she was an actress. I didn't know she went to school for this.
huh, okay.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just telling you that's motive, Katie. You can't really talk about anything else without talking about the motive. I mean, that's part of motive. I get where you're coming from about it, but if Dee Dee acted like this too, then that is indicative of it could be passed down from generation to generation on both sides, not just the chromosome disorder. That's interesting. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's an
Uh-huh.
interesting factor for sure. I'd like to have a psychiatrist actually talk to her, but she won't do that.
No, she won't.
No.
And Dinah offered her a real therapist where she gotten a full like extensive neuro evaluation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Didn't take her.
I know.
Instead, she enrolled her in telehealth.
Jesus, Joseph and Mary.
She has the ability to go to a real clinic, and she won't do it.
Well, until she wants to do it, it's not going to help her anyway. So it's pointless to shove her in there and force her to. If she doesn't want the change, she won't get the change. And it's very hard for a sociopath to change at all, period.
She doesn't want to change, and I don't
No.
think Christy wants her to change because
No.
Christy can manipulate her to a degree because even though Gypsy has the sociopathy or whatever you're saying, she has a cognitive disability too. So she's like she actually has a mild cognitive disability that was diagnosed by a neurologist after she had the genetic testing come back. So it's like, which they had to do when Dee Dee was trying to do guardianship.
I agree. It absolutely has always been Christy is the problem. You're absolutely right, sweetheart.
She's made the lives hell for like the Petries.
Yeah. She makes life hell for anybody she doesn't like or anybody who's not willing to go by her.
Basically, she's just so hell-bent on destroying the reputation of her romantic rival.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what Claudia said. It's a love.
You know, there's a lot of things about Christy that I kind of side eye. Okay, like I think she's a little bit more into like the money and the fame aspect than any
for sure.
stepper otherwise should be. You know, I do think that. I think that she's so hell bent on destroying any memory of Dee Dee that's why she's doing any of this shit.
Yeah.
She didn't strike me as someone who's that insecure, especially over a woman who's passed away.
I don't know because the things that I don't know, I could see it a little bit because the things that she said about Dee Dee about like now like no one ever said anything about Dee Dee murdering her mother, and then after she's gone, then Christy all starts saying like, I wonder if that happened, but no one ever said that before. Like, why are you saying that to the cameras on TV now out of nowhere, like 20 years later, just to make her look bad?
Yeah.
That's where that whole story came from Christy.
Oh, really?
She didn't actually kill her mom.
I didn't know if she did or not, but I mean, I didn't know that the story originated with Christy.
Yeah, the story that Gypsy tells is that her mom like broke down when her mom passed away. So would she be the one to have done it if she like reacted that terribly?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the story originated from Christy. That's where it came from.
Huh. Interesting.
triangle that Christy can't get over.
That she can't get over. And I think that Vicky, I think that what you said about Vicky and this book and what they convinced her between Melissa Moore, Vicky, and this damn Christy, I think it's reprehensible that they did this. I cannot believe that anyone published this book, anyone carried this book, that Melissa Moore approved this book, that Christy and the editors approved this book. I just can't understand how this book was made.
They understand it now. They understand that Christy and Rod are trying to point the fingers at them so their cans are clean.
Yep.
They don't even think Gypsy wrote half of it. They said it's all Christy and Rod.
Sure. Am I causing a problem or anything? I know somebody dropped off, so I don't want them to not be upset with me.
No, it's just being late. She has a baby.
Yeah, it's late. It's getting late. I was thinking the same thing. But okay, I just want to make sure it wasn't about that. All right, because I truly do not want to upset the family. I am really happy that they have somewhere to speak. And thankfully, it's somewhere to speak that I at least know that we're on the same side of this, of wanting the truth of what happened.
Yeah,
Like, no nonsense. I just
they
want
don't care about, they honestly do not give a shit about anything going on in Gypsy's life. They don't care about, they're worried about the baby. I will say that.
For sure. Can they petition to have the baby?
They can, but I don't know if they're going to do that.
I don't know that they'll do that. Yeah, I would hate for history to repeat itself because they didn't step in this time.
But
That's
that's
all.
not, that's not their responsibility.
It's not. You're right. It's not.
And they are tired of people pitting things on them that don't belong to them.
I can see where you're coming from on that. I can. But I just worry about this child. Like oh my God. I just worry. And especially
all have-
what we know. It's just sad. It's very scary for this poor kid. Just feel bad for her.
What I want to make clear for this family more than anything is all the blame, all the finger pointing, all of that. I'm not saying you're doing this, but
Right.
like none of that is their responsibility. Gypsy's not their responsibility. Gypsy hasn't even talked to them. They don't have relationships with her.
Right.
They weren't invited to the baby shower. Like they don't,
They're wrong.
she's not their problem. And all she does is cause them problems.
For sure. And they're basically trying to wipe out Dee Dee's existence. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, this is terrible at this point.
I
This has
never,
gone on
hold
way
on.
too
I never
long.
said, Dina, I never said Claude has dementia. He has dementia. He doesn't have that diagnosis. I said he's losing his memory, which actually happens when you're old.
You
he
you
does
know,
have
you may not
dementia.
use the word. It's
I
a
think he
very
does have it,
semantical
though.
argument.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure he does. I'm pretty sure he does have dementia though.
But, I mean, the way she explained it too was like he was on camera for an interview and he kept calling so and so Dee Dee, or I think Gypsy Dee Dee or some shit like that, whatever.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
I mean, this
But yeah,
kind of a
that
sign of
happens to any
dementia.
old person, dementia or not. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I mean, and
Like, what?
there's dementia doesn't just come about with like Alzheimer's. Getting older, it happens just on its own. You
Yeah,
know?
totally. My parents are in their 60s and they do that. So 100%.
Oh God.
Okay, without getting dementia. And the credit card fraud we have talked about on this panel and Dinah talked about 2 nights ago. So take several fucking seats.
Ooh,
Wow. You didn't have to be that rude to Dinah about it like that. Wow.
ooh, thank you, Fancy.
What
I
did
was
Dinah
talking to
say?
Dinah. I wasn't talking.
Wow. Okay.
I'm glad Fancy said something. Because that was rude.
Dinah.
And no one ever calls Katie out.
I thought you said Dinah.
No, I said Dinah said that 2 nights
Oh.
ago.
I know.
Oh, okay.
So
Because I
close.
was like, what? I thought you were talking to Dinah. All right. I get you.
Damn.
Okay.
But see, the damage was done though, because Katie, it doesn't matter if it was a mistake or not. Katie now knows that that Fancy is very capable of mouthing off back to her. The damage was
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Anna, not Dinah.
Oh, Dana. Okay, that's why I was confused. I couldn't figure out. It didn't make any sense to me. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I feel for the Petries in so many ways. And like, I've talked to several of the cousins over the years. And they've all tried to encourage their parents to do things, and their parents have just been so reluctant to do it from what they've explained to me, just because of how they've been perceived, and nobody has bothered to question any of it, like just Dee Dee's just a horrible person, the Petrie family's terrible, they're all awful, and and she deserved what she got, according to Rod, right? So like, it's just, I feel bad for them at this
They
point.
just haven't had the time to even regroup because every time you turn around, there's another project slammed in their face.
Yeah.
Like traumatizing them again.
I know.
So they don't even get to breathe.
And they don't get to grieve.
No.
No, because it's all been about Gypsy for the last 8 years. I agree.
And like, all Gypsy keeps doing to them is they've already taken their sister and their daughter, and
Right.
now they're just abusing them.
For sure. For Christy's sick game, in my opinion.
Okay. Right, so that one's done. And
Oh, I love your
there's
cat.
one more. This one's only like 10 minutes long, 11 minutes or so.
What is your cat's name?
What's that?
What's your cat's name?
Oh, Slick.
Oh, that's a cute name. I like that. Slick.
Yep, Slick. We named her Slick because, well, we had the dog first and we named the dog Clubber Lang, so clever.
Oh, that's
And
cute.
now,
Clever. and
now
slick.
we have the cat. Yeah, so we named the cat Slick. So Michael can repeat that line from Grumpy Old Men or something. Clever, kill Slick.
That's cute.
That's why. It's entirely why. Yeah.
That's funny. At least there's a story to it.
Yeah. But they get along now though, so there's that.
That's good. Yeah.
I just,
And
I have
Gypsy
no
and
respect
Rod
for
and
her.
Christy are united in their hate for Dee Dee and the Petries, and that's what keeps them together.
And that's why they're feeding into her delusions, KJ. I mean,
Yep.
seriously, they're feeding her delusions.
They
And
won't, and
that's-
that's why Claudia and Dora won't talk to her, because like they won't tell Gypsy that she was justified.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they freaking had a conniption fit when she goes on a freaking podcast and says, I don't identify as a murderer 1 week after she gets out of freaking prison, for Christ's sake.
Claudia said it made her realize that everything she said to the parole board and everything she was saying about how she had remorse was a fucking lie.
It was a lie. She said it in prison confessions, and I said, because she said it the best. Believe somebody when they tell you really about themselves. What did she say? For the last 8 years, everything that I have done in these 4 walls has been for parole, not to get better, not because, oh my God, I made a mistake and I should have never done this to my mother. I'm so sorry. No, parole. That's it. That's all that mattered. Parole. You know why she was so scared of not getting parole? Because she was not a model prisoner and she did not deserve parole. They should have made her stay there. And if they weren't going to make her stay there, they should have absolutely released her. This was my suggestion. If you're going to let her out anyway in another 2 years, then you need to put her in an inpatient treatment facility where she can get the proper help that she can. If
You mean to tell me that Fancy made a suggestion and nobody took her up on that?
I know, it's crazy.
Oh my
It's
God.
funny. I don't think that she should have been like in an inpatient place. That's crazy. But I think she should have gone to a halfway house or something. Like she was there for
Yeah.
8.5 years. Like think about it.
Yeah.
Abby Lee Miller, who never like harmed a single person physically anyway. Like she did a year in prison and she was forced to go to a halfway house. And Gypsy Rose, who killed her mother and was away for 8 years, didn't have to go to one. Like that's crazy.
Right. Yeah. No, I think, yeah, that probably would have been a good idea.
Yeah.
if she's even able to get it, so that you force her to have to do this if she's going to go out into public. That's the only way that would have been servicing her or anyone else. And no.
You know, she said on prison confessions, they just asked her about what her mom was doing. No, that's actually not. Christy told me because she was at the parole board hearing and she called me. And they grilled her about her and about how she acts, about how she's famous. And they like literally spent the most time talking to her about that.
Interesting. And her answer was, I don't think I'm famous. What are you talking about? I'm going to be an advocate.
Yep. That was
And
all
now, and now the whole thing is, oh my God, I so badly wanted to be an advocate by reading a whole freaking my Johnson by proxy pamphlet poorly, and by flying across the country to speak on something I have no idea about, but nobody would let me. Oh,
so Gypsy wants prison reform, but she wants the reform to be that someone that plans a murder can't go to prison for first-degree murder. That's what she would say.
Oh my God.
That's how I view it, because she to this day doesn't believe she's a murderer because she says she didn't do it. So
you know, it's just so weird, off-putting to hear a couple of grown women like this just mocking the voice of anyone really like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, this isn't, how can you sit here and say that you're looking or reporting on anything with an impartial view, because you're not.
No, they're not. I mean, especially because they were both so close to the Blanchards. They're not impartial at all. They are 100% doing it from one side because they feel a certain way. Then that's bias. So, like, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly.
Mark feels about that.
And her idea is that she's not a murderer, so that's why you need to reform the justice system so that she wouldn't have had that conviction. That's what she wants to reform. I guarantee it.
Nothing about reentry,
Nope.
nothing about recovery.
Nope.
rehabilitation, meditation, better education.
Nope.
No. Just that I
Oh,
would have had to
I
go
talked to
for
Naditha.
Naditha. I like her a lot.
Yeah. Gypsy was in mental health and on mental health medication, so she saw a counselor in prison.
But she's lying.
Yeah.
All to pretend like nothing was wrong with her again.
Yep.
I want to know what that person said, and it's against HIPAA, so we'll never get it. But man, I would love to know those diagnoses.
She said she went to every morning they had to go to mental health to get their meds.
Yeah.
And she always was there because they were in the same pod or whatever.
Right, she made up some bullshit story that she told Ty about how there's a point system, and if you score either so many points or not enough points, I don't remember which one it was, you aren't offered to have a private counselor or one-on-one sessions or anything like that. And she's so well adjusted from everything that she didn't qualify.
Yeah, that's not
If
true.
you so for fucking real.
But you don't have, that's the entry part. That's just for when they get into it so that they can set it up immediately. But that
Right.
doesn't mean that once you're in,
Yeah.
that you can't go at any time. And
Right.
Naditha said that she was in mental health, and in order to get mental health drugs in prison, you have to have a counselor.
So she probably just sat in that damn room and did nothing for 8 years, stared at the wall with that woman.
Then she had a job, and she was
the therapist.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Like,
I
what did she
mean-
just do? Sit there and stare at the wall for 8 years? Because that person has got to know that she is not okay.
I mean, if she did through there, how is it then her fault that she benefited from not talking? I mean, I feel like that this is really opening up the doors for discussion on prison shit,
Yeah, I mean, if
mean-
you think about it, she got parole anyway, so I guess it didn't really matter.
Right, yeah, true. Yeah.
Like, she didn't actually do the therapy. Like Dr. Phil offered her, she denied it. And I
Right.
don't know why they're saying that she did it, 'cause everyone knows that she didn't do it in there. So I don't know where they're getting this from, but yeah, she said that she didn't qualify. That's what she told people. But her ex cellmate Rachel Garlick, the one that was her best friend and is Gypsy's the godmother to her kids and stuff, she cut her
Mhm.
off or whatever. She even said that everyone got therapy if they wanted it. She said that she got it because she had a fear of mustard, so she was able to go. So you're gonna tell me that Gypsy didn't qualify? Like, come on, she obviously qualified.
Right, yeah. Right. I mean, who do you have to kill to qualify then?
Yeah, right. Apparently, you have to kill some mustard.
I mean,
Come on.
Naditha said that she wasn't super lazy or anything. She had a job, and she did she actually said that the way that Gypsy talks about prison in the book is so opposite, because she said that Gypsy was scared of everyone
Yeah.
and basically kept to herself and
Rachel said the same thing.
didn't act like the mean girl, was never part of that.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
questions that she ever was using Suboxone in prison.
Told you. Didn't think she was. I think she's made up the story to look hard.
Yeah.
It's even worse than before. Oh my God, I went in and I was just such an innocent little flower. And my mother had kept me away from everyone and everything. And my father hated me, and my mother's family is just so horrible. And so I'm just this poor meek child. Please have mercy on me. Meanwhile, she comes out and then shit talks everybody. You didn't think that prisoners were going to shit talk you? When you shit talk to them, you didn't think they were going to share your secrets, honey? What about,
She just said that it's
remember the one that she called her bully? Because the lady saw through you and was like, nah, that ain't it, sis. Really? That's your bully? Because she just said, no, I'm sorry, I don't believe your bullshit. Nope.
Well,
thank you.
in her book, she said that her mom was cruel to her because she said, you tried to kill me by shooting a BB gun at me, and if I die, it will be you. And she said that was cruel and hateful.
Oh, wow. I haven't got to that part yet, apparently. Or I skimmed over it the first time, so I'm going back one by one, and I'm
So
telling you.
apparently, Dee Dee telling
First
her
chapter.
you actually shot me and tried to kill me is hateful.
Wow.
She also told Melissa Moore.
But she also told,
How the hell has Fancy not gotten her? How the hell has she not read this entire book by now?
I
Am I
know,
done?
seriously. She could even have listened to it in the background while she was cleaning or
Yeah.
something. I've listened to it already. I can't believe she hasn't.
Is Gypsy really reading it? Is she really narrating it?
Oh my God! Unfortunately, yes, she's really reading
Oh my
it.
God. It's crazy.
Yeah. Bad.
also told Kale that she knew it wasn't a BB gun.
And well, that's because we're pretty sure, Claudia and I were talking about this today, that she admitted to attempted murder, and now she's
Did.
trying to scramble.
100% she did. And they can still charge her. There's no statute of limitations. That is attempted murder, and she's been doing it twice. And she told Nick about both of them. He can testify against her. There you go, folks. There you go. There's your back in prison, but they ain't going to do it. So Unless somebody calls their bluff big time, they're not gonna touch this case again with a 10-foot pole.
They don't want anything to do with her.
No, they know that they closed a door on a hell of a lot of things. Yeah, Patterson, I know you closed a door on a hell of a lot of things, allegedly for entertainment and educational purposes only, in my opinion only. But you know, I know what doors are
She says
closed.
that way too much.
I've looked at 4 more cases. I'm working on a 5th one.
What's that?
She says that
Oh.
way too much. She adds in the whole for educational purposes only speech. She says that like after everything. Fancy.
Maybe that's her way of saying allegedly.
No, it is, but she gives like a whole speech, and it's like you could just say allegedly, like the one word is fine.
That somebody who works in the or went through the CPS system and dealt with the same corrupt CPS workers as 2 other cases that I've looked at. And it all ties back to Patterson's office, and it ties back to the hospital with fraud. There's a whole lot of shit going on with VisionCon in that community. I'm telling you, there is a lot of things, and they think they closed the door to everything, and they did a very messy job, a very, very, very messy job.
They didn't even do forensics on the stab wounds to figure out how the knife went into her body.
No, they do. They have that in there. They have the left hand, the left inside. There's some that were left hand or left. Went in right to left and some that went in left to right. They have all of that. They did do that part. But here's one thing I can tell you about the forensics on the crime scene photos and everything and the measurements. The measurements are wrong, and they move these things all over the bed, and they measure them in the wrong places from the wall. They move a blanket on the floor 3 times, and then they measure it from the wrong wall because they move it over to the side of the other when they measure it. None of the crime scene is even remotely freaking processed properly. Not at
How
all.
would she know this?
Nothing.
Yeah.
It's just
How would
How would she have that information? Like that makes no sense.
I'm wondering too, what would it matter if they did move a carpet? I mean, is that going to change their determination of? I mean,
Yeah, it's still gonna be the same amount of distance.
yeah,
I don't know.
it's so weird. Like, why is that the thing that we're concerned with?
Right?
And then if you read the first responders, all the different one of them, read them back to back, Katie. I'm telling you, go from one to the next, and you're gonna be like, that contradicts what the other person just said. Like, why? I want to know.
I don't know why the neighbors, after they did these interviews on these shows, lied about Dee Dee's health after the fact, because Dee Dee actually was sick.
I know. And I'm telling you,
She actually wasn't conning anyone about her own health.
No, nope. She was very sick. And on top of that, I think that the people that have been brought forward are people that Christy can control. They are all people that she introduces to every single person.
Yeah, and if you can't control you, she pulls out of everything and says, "I'm not going to be a part of this," and you'll get no access to Gypsy.
Yeah, exactly. Mhm.
That's what she did to Pookie.
Yep.
So Pookie wanted to share what he thought about Rod.
That's Claude Senior, right?
No, that's Claude
Claude
Jr.
Junior. I mean Claude Junior, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been telling you the story forever.
No, well, that I already knew it.
Yeah, I mean I've been telling the story forever.
Oh, I
That's what
already
they did
knew
on
it.
Gypsy's Revenge. Is why they didn't trust anybody afterwards.
That's great.
I know.
And Claudia said this. She said it's disgusting to her
Yeah.
that Rod and Christy couldn't have given 2 shits about Gypsy until she murdered Dee Dee. Like, had nothing to do with her.
Yeah,
at
the
all.
neighbors didn't even know they had another kid.
No, they hid Gypsy from everyone.
They also hid Nicolette. So I mean, that's just what they're doing. The Blanchard family is way more criminalistic than the Petrie family could ever think of being. They're diabolical, man. I have never seen anything like it. I'm telling you, when I said that Christy was 9,000 times worse than Dee Dee, by God, I meant it, and I mean it today.
Oh, she did admit to me that she said she was going to kill you, but she was so mad with rage she couldn't remember it. And then she said that it's your fault that you can't get over it.
It's my fault that I can't get over the fact that you spread lies about my husband and me.
No, that
Huh.
She just admitted on a live that Christy said that she was going to murder Fancy. What the hell? This is why she gets sued all the time.
Yeah, no kidding. Yep.
That's reckless.
it's your fault that you can't get over the fact that she threatened your life.
She didn't threaten my life.
Oh, that's what she's told me.
Oh, really? That's funny, because no, she never threatened my life. I would have told her, see you at the door, bitch. I'm always packing. Because if you come at my
If she said it's Dinah, she'd say, roll up and I'll be there.
I said, you know, she might have said something like that in anger, but I straight up told her. I mean, I said it on a podcast. They straight up asked me, am I scared of Gypsy Rose? And I said, no, ma'am, I am not. I'm in a prayer group with the DA. I am, I am a member of the da-da-da, which I'm not, but I was doing the Leon Tui thing, and I'm always packing. So no, I'm not worried about Gypsy Rose. And I live in a shoot first, ask questions later state. So if I feel my life is in danger, absolutely.
And I was talking to them about.
I'm not worried.
And I was talking to them about how Christy told Ivory Rose grows wild to show receipts, which meant rolled up. And then she said that Christy's like acting like she's being stalked by her. And they were like, bitch, you're the one that told her to roll up.
Right.
What did you
Yeah.
expect?
She did. What did you said you don't have receipts. Show them, bitch. So what did she do? She drove innocently by your fucking house and flipped you off. And according to one of the 19 stories you've told about it, nobody was even home. So how is Gypsy scared in her house alone?
Well, but don't forget, she went to McDonald's and yelled she yelled in the parking lot at McDonald's, but even they had an excuse for that. They said, well, Christy told them to show receipts. And they said in the bio, you don't say that shit.
You don't. There's lots of people you don't say that shit to. You just don't say.
I mean, it is kind of funny. Huh?
Is that what they're saying? You don't ask for receipts in the bayou?
Yeah, they're ask for receipts, like if you don't want receipts or whatever. They're saying, and well, the reason why we came to your house and drove by or did this and that's because you asked for receipts, so it's on you.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah,
The bayou sound seems like such a different place.
right. Yeah.
That unless you were prepared for me to show the receipts, there are certain people you don't show that to. Because guess what? I will show receipts, and I think Ivory can show them too. I 100% believe they are harassing and then stalking that girl. 100%. And if I'm wrong, then you know what? At least I tried to believe in somebody, and I got bamboozled again, whatever. But I believe her. I truly, truly, truly believe her. I think that there could be a little bit of proportion on this whole thing of what went down after the vigil. I do. I think there could be a couple of things that might have happened that could have led to certain things, but I don't think it's I don't think it's untrue. That's all. I don't think it's untrue. I do believe that they're
Okay, so I'm looking at the chat here, and I don't remember the ending of this, but apparently it sounds like the ending of this is awesome. And there's 1 minute and 41 seconds left. So
Okay,
let's
sounds
see.
good.
capable and would do that. That's the thing.
Dinah said that if Christy would have done that to her, she would have been at her door like 2 minutes later.
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely.
Really never had someone say that to me where I didn't show up.
Yeah, no. I don't,
Oh my
yeah, me neither.
God.
There's no way. I told Christy, I said, if you ever show up and you say that shit to my face, I double dog dare you to do it. I know she won't say
Oh my
it to my
God, she
face.
did not just.
She'll try
Double dare
to skirt the
you.
issue or hide in a bathroom like she did with.
I double dog dare you. What the fuck?
And Katie, I guarantee, has never showed up anywhere to fight anyone, so I don't know what she's saying.
Exactly. And Fancy, if she showed up, she'd just shoot her eye out or something.
And she double dog dare. I double dog dare you to hit me.
Oh God.
Mint J Pack.
Bayou culture is fascinating. It is. Okay, I'm
It
getting
is amazing.
tired.
What'd you say?
It's late here. I'm tired.
Yeah, no problem. Go. I just hopped on because you asked. I didn't even know what you were talking about.
Here. Glad you're
Right.
here.
I'm like, she
Thanks
said,
for
"No
sharing.
problem, go
Yeah,
away."
no problem.
Being here.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Okay. All right.
KJ's lives are
Yeah, she
always
did just
entertaining, at least.
Yeah. Oh, whoops. Okay, there we go. All right, so Chief Luca. I
Poor
forgot about
Luca.
that. I know. All righty. I'm going to wrap this up. It's 3:30 a.m. I'm tired. I'm finally getting tired now.
Yeah. Well,
for
thank you
some
for
reason, I
having
keep
me
pushing.
on.
Yes, thanks for coming on. Thanks for accepting the link and
problem.
joining me for this.
Anytime. Good times. I'll see you
Awesome.
around on Twitter. All right.
All right. Bye. All right. So I'm going to share Hades' channel one more time before I go. Okay. Oops, what am I doing? What did I do? Okay. So here's the link to Hades channel again. check it out. She just started live streaming not too long ago, and well, she's been doing some videos. But definitely worth checking out. Into why did I come up like that? I really can't spell or anything without my glasses. It's crazy. Okay, so there we go. And all right, guys, I'm going to try and get some sleep, and then I have to go to work in the morning. So, surprise. No, we met Tuesday, right? Yeah, no, I'll be able to stream tomorrow night. Okay, so I'll be around tomorrow night. All right, guys. Bye. Thank you. Thanks for being here, and thank you again, Haiti. Have a good night. Where the hell? All right, I'll get this right eventually. All right, bye.